What's going on, my friends? It's your friend Jack here, and today we're going to be talking about some print-on-demand tools and which tools you need to be successful in your print-on-demand and t-shirt business. So, as you may or may not know, there are a lot of print-on-demand and t-shirt tools that you can buy, purchase, and use to try to improve your print-on-demand business and your sales overall. There are two types of tools. There are research tools and there are design tools. Some of these tools do both. However, you don't need all the tools. That's what I'm here to tell you. I'm going to show you guys some of the tools that I use, but you don't need all the tools. Test out tools. There's a reason there's free trials on pretty much every single one of these tools. And if you don't like it, after your free trial even expires and you do end up buying it, then you can always stop with the subscription. You can cancel them. Make sure you're not subscribing for 6 months if you don't know if you like it or not. But a lot of these tools aren't mandatory, and all you really need is one or two tools that are going to do the things that you need to do. You need one way of designing, whether that be Photoshop, Placeit, Canva. You don't need all of them. Start with one and stick with one and get good at it, or find free alternatives, but you don't need Placeit, Canva, Photoshop, All Sunsets, and All American Graphics. You don't need every single one. You don't have to pay for every single one. Obviously, it's not a bad idea to have them if you can afford it and you're going to use them every single day or every single month quite frequently. But it is by no means a requirement to have all these tools. And on the research side of things, there is, Merch Informer, and there's like Sales Samurai. There's not that many research tools. So you want to find a research tool that works well for you and the platforms that you're mainly on. And then sometimes those research tools are free, and find what works for you best and then stick with that. So at the start of your print-on-demand business, you might be confused which tools you need and want. There are a lot of tools out there. Not even just the ones I mentioned. There's so many tools out there. But go by this policy that you need to stick with a tool that you like. And if something's working, stick with it. You don't have to switch it up. And if you see someone else using a tool that you think might be better than the tool you're using, maybe go grab the free trial, try it out, and give it a good shot during the free trial, and use your free trial up and decide then for yourself if it's worth it for you, if it's going to be worth it for your future payments, or if you think your other tool is just enough for what you're getting and you don't want to pay too many monthly fees, especially when you're just starting your print-on-demand businesses and you're not making that many profits to kind of pay for these fees. So in short, you don't need every single tool. Find one good design tool, one good research tool, and go from there. You can test out new tools, but you don't need to be paying for 10 tools at once, because chances are you can't use Placeit, Canva, All Sunsets, All American Graphics to their full capabilities, or you're not going to be using them very much if you have every single one, because you're not designing 10 hours a day. So take your subscriptions with a fee that is, representative of how much you're going to use it. You could have all these tools and you could make really good designs and profit off each and every one. I'm not saying you can't use all the tools, but make your own decisions and also test out tools during the free trials. Free trials are awesome. There's tons of free trials for pretty much every single tool that I use. Maybe not Placeit, but Placeit has free versions which you can test out. So it's kind of like you don't even have to start a free trial. They have free. You can use pretty much Placeit or Canva like it's a paid version, but so you can see what you can get out of it. And then they'll come up and say, okay, you can't download this image unless you have the paid version. And that's also really good because you can see the capabilities of it before you buy it. So anything you can do like that is a really good way to, determine which tools you want to use. Now let's go take a look at some of the tools I use and why I think these tools are just best for me and why I've been sticking with them over the past 7 months. So the first tool that I ever got for print on demand was Merch Informer. And Merch Informer is a great tool. It pulls data from Merch by Amazon or Amazon Marketplace and the Merch by Amazon listings. So keep that in mind. The research you're going to do in this tool is data pulled from Amazon and not other platforms. However, even though I don't sell on Amazon because I was banned on that platform in my rookie days, I made a little mistake. I'll have a video for that down in the description. I'm trying to get back on the platform, but the thing is, the research you can do on these tools doesn't just apply to the platforms that they pull information from. Because Amazon is such a big marketplace, you can find kind of hot niches and you can even do trademark research on here and some other tools. But the main thing is, if you're going to be checking, how valid a niche is, you can use a competition checker. Or if you want to find new ideas, you can go and search for hot niches. There are a bunch of different tools on this tool, and for only like $10 a month, and if you use the 20% off code in the description, it's like $8 a month. It does provide a lot of value, so I have stuck with this tool for the last 7 months. So the second tool I ever got for print on demand was Placeit, and this is my main design tool. This is where I started off making about 2,000 designs before I switched over to using Photoshop for half of my designs. But this tool is also very good if you're not a graphic designer, and allows me to create high quality designs with little to no effort. So it's worth the more expensive price tag of, I believe, $20 a month. However, I don't mind paying that because I think it's worth it, and I'm only using one subscription for design. And then Photoshop is also a thing, but I use Photoshop not just for designing, I use it for YouTube, everything else. So it's kind of also worth the cost per month. But Placeit as a design tool is a really good tool. You could also use Canva or All Sunsets or All American Graphics. There's a lot of design tools out there, or Vexels. Just make sure they're commercially free. So lots of design tool options. Try some trials, try some free tools. Try to get access to these tools for free and see if you can play around with them to see which one you like best, and then make your decision and go for that. One more thing I do want to mention is that I do like Placeit a lot because they also have, other than just designs, they have mock-ups and kind of logo creators. So Placeit is really good for me as a YouTube content creator as well, because I can get logos, I can brand myself on other platforms, and also mock-ups are good for Etsy and other places which I'm also selling on. So for me, Placeit is a really good fit. So like I said, I do sell on Etsy, so I have an Etsy tool. Basically, this is Sales Samurai. It's a pretty new tool. I'm just trying it out this month to see how it goes. So far, I really like this tool. It's really good, and it allows me to get more kind of an idea of how many people are searching for keywords on Etsy. So they have a Chrome extension. That's the main part of this tool that I use. And basically, I can use it to track how many people are searching for certain terms to see if it's worth going into the niche, which is a really good way to gauge if I should make designs for a niche on Etsy, because right now that is the main platform that I am focusing on. So when I say search volume, this is what I mean. You can basically go right here and you can find search volume in these listings. So you could type whatever you want, see if there's a search volume for it, and you can also click this button on the right here, and it allows you to browse more possible competitive or non-competitive niches with different search volumes, and you can filter the results. But that's the gist of this tool, and that's why I use it mainly just for Etsy research, because Merchant Former doesn't really give me much for Etsy research. However, there's also lots of ways to do research for free on Etsy, so don't just go all in and buy a tool because it looks ultimately the best option. Do your research, and maybe you can find a free alternative too, and keep that in mind always. So pretty much the last tool I use for print on demand, I could group in some KDP tools into this too. If you don't know what that is, I also publish some books on Amazon. I haven't made as much money over there though, because I'm just recently doing that. But this tool, Photoshop, really good tool, and especially if you're making other things other than print on demand designs, there's also free alternatives for Photoshop, but you can get a free trial for 30 days, or you can pay 28 Canadian dollars a month, which is probably like 23 US dollars a month, and it's a really good tool. If you don't know how to use Photoshop, you can learn. There's also a bunch of other tools like Photoshop in the Adobe suite that are really, really good, and I would highly recommend all the Adobe products. However, there is a learning curve there, and it does take a little bit to get used to, and it does cost a decent amount a month. So make sure you use the free trial up and actually get the best out of it. And yeah, those are the tools I use for my print-on-demand business. However, those are not the tools that you need to use necessarily. Find out for yourself what works best for you. Maybe you like Canva a lot more than you like Placeit. Maybe you don't need half of the Placeit features like mockups, so Canva is just a better alternative. Or maybe you want both. There's a lot of different things you could do. Use the free trials. Just do that. Figure out which works best for you, which tool you like the most. In terms of research, there aren't as many options, but Merchant Former is a really good research tool, and that's the one I would mainly go with if you're just going to pick one research tool, because they do have a lot of features on it, and it's the same people who make Sales Samurai and BookBolt, so they know what they're doing, and I definitely would recommend their company and their sister companies as well. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed, and with all that being said, it's been your friend Jack. Keep driving, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next freaking video.